Welcome to another edition, actually the Thanksgiving meal edition for Mo Health Media. My name is Guy Danhoff, host, and I'm joined today by two very special guests. Our first one is Lisa Farmer. Most of you guys should know Lisa, as she has been the host of Tasty Tuesday. Lisa, it's great seeing you quite again, and just like to know, how else do you serve the state?
Hi, Guy. It is so nice to be here, and I am a senior nutritionist with Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services.
All right, and we're also joined with Maggie Cimarolli. She is one of our food and nutrition consultants here with Missouri Healthy Schools. Maggie, welcome to the program. And what else do you do to serve the state?
Hi, thank you. I'm so happy to be here as well. I am also a food and nutrition manager at Missouri School for the Blind in St. Louis.
Very cool. So we know this is the Thanksgiving edition, so we got to dive right in. So let's talk some turkey. So Maggie, I want to start with you. Okay, as we're talking turkey, we know that there might be some trends, obviously due to the recent restrictions, as we know, that family gatherings may be smaller than normal. And with that, it may present a problem in terms of what size turkey maybe a family should get. I was maybe wondering if you could weigh in on this whole thing with what size turkey, and also, do you get the whole bird or you get pieces? Maybe you can shed some light on that.
Yes, of course. So it actually, speaking of weighing, a 1 pound, usually you average about 1 pound per person that you're going to be feeding. So, like you said, a lot of families are doing smaller Thanksgivings this year, more immediate family. So you're probably looking for a smaller turkey. So, getting something like a turkey breast and maybe a turkey leg, or doing, pieces of a turkey versus the entire turkey. Usually, otherwise you might be left with a whole lot of leftover turkey and not that many people to eat it. So definitely going for something a little smaller, looking at your pounds, how many people you'll be serving. So for my family, we have 4 people in my family, and we actually got an 8-pound turkey breast, which is a little more, but we like to do leftovers, eat sandwiches the next day. And then we also got a turkey leg, because we do have some people who want to eat the dark meat as well as the white meat. So.
Well, Maggie, I'm going to tell you right now, I find that very helpful. We're in that same kind of boat. Normally we have about 25 to 32 people, and we're going to be under, right around that 10 people. And that actually created a big family discussion for us on what size bird. So thank you for filling us in on that. Now I'm going to turn to Lisa. Lisa, let's talk to us about some sides. And when we talk about sides, let's maybe from the healthy side of things. Could you maybe tell us about 8 to 10 healthy sides?
So I'm going to tell you there was a poll, and I'm going to tell you what the #1 healthiest side was, and that is Brussels sprouts. Huh. Do you ever serve Brussels sprouts for Thanksgiving?
I can tell you, I'm not going to reveal my age here, but no.
No. So that was the #1. And if you're not, or your family isn't a Brussels sprout lover, Maggie and I talked about this earlier, serving a side of a green salad, or just a nice, fresh, mixed vegetable like that is a great way to go, and healthy way. The #2 healthiest is butternut squash. #3 is a favorite that I'm sure everybody will recognize, green bean casserole. Yep. And there are some tricks. We also know that some people like the canned green bean, the traditional, using canned green beans. Yep. My family, we like using frozen green beans or fresh green beans. Gives you the nice crisp crunch of, a fresh vegetable. #4 is a sweet potato casserole. 5, mashed potatoes. 6, dinner roll. 7, cranberry sauce. So I have a question about cranberry sauce, Guy. Do you all serve the traditional canned jellied cranberry sauce, or do you serve a fresh or homemade cranberry sauce?
Well, I'd like to tell you we do it all fresh homemade, but I'm going to be very honest, full disclosure, we do not. We do the canned. And is there a big difference between the two?
Well, there's a difference
Okay.
in flavor and texture, but I think we always serve the canned because
Okay.
it's just a favorite. How about you, Maggie?
Yeah, we usually do both. Like you said, my aunt usually makes a homemade cranberry sauce, or kind of like a cranberry chutney, which, like you said, it does have a lot of different flavors compared to the canned. But then we do have some lovers of the jellied cranberry, so we do that as well.
We kind of go overboard on cranberry sauce. We like a fresh raw cranberry sauce with orange in it, and it's amazing, delicious. And then a cooked chutney version and the roll, the cranberry roll, the canned cranberry that comes out so beautifully. Number 8 is stuffing or dressing on the healthiest sides. And 9, macaroni and cheese, 10, gravy. So I do have so on the stuffing or dressing, Maggie, what are some ways that you all serve? Do you call it stuffing or dressing?
We call it stuffing. And I know we've had this conversation before, and even working here at my school, I have this conversation with my cooks a lot on what they call it. So I call it stuffing. And we serve a couple different stuffings at my family. We do kind of your classic vegetable stuffing. So we have onion, celery, carrots, your chicken broth. So we do that. And then we also do a fruit stuffing, which is my favorite. It has apples, cranberries, you can do pears. Again, really, you can put whatever your family's favorites are into a stuffing, and kind of make it your own, which I think is great. And you can also use different kinds of breads, different kinds of, textures. If you like whole grain, you can always add that in. Leftover bread from something else, or rolls, things like that. So there's a lot you can do with the stuffings and the dressings, which, like I said, that's my favorite personally for Thanksgiving. I'm in charge of it this year since we aren't getting together with the full family. So hopefully it turns out well. But I'm excited. I love stuffing.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm really excited with that answer because you're exactly right. You make it what you want to make it. And that's what's really great about that. So, seeing Lisa, you're on this roll now with asking these poll questions. I have one for both you guys, okay? Because I find it really interesting that you guys are talking about the healthiest sides, and I appreciate that. And I know our viewers do, but I can tell you there's some viewers out there that want this question answered. Here it is. Is it pumpkin or pecan pie? Which are you serving and why?
Well, I will tell you, I'm going rogue on that one. I'm zagging on that one, Guy.
Okay.
I personally like chocolate pie or a chocolate dessert. So That's what I will be serving. However, if we have to choose, and I probably will make a little pumpkin pie.
Okay.
I have a healthy recipe for pumpkin pie that's delicious. So.
Very cool. How about you, Maggie?
We make both in my family. Personally, I am a pumpkin pie lover. That is my go-to for Thanksgiving because that's really the only time that I have pumpkin pie during the year. But we do make the pecan pie, but I have to stick with the pumpkin.
All right, fair enough. So now we've talked about, by the way, guys, I'm like really hungry. This food talk has got me really hungry. So Maggie, you brought up leftovers earlier. Let's talk about that. So either one of you guys can jump in. What are some leftover safety considerations that we should think about?
So one thing that you always want to do is make sure that you get the leftovers in the refrigerator within 2 hours.
Okay.
Want to store leftovers in shallow containers. So 2 inches or less height containers. That way they cool quicker and put them in. And then a huge one too is dating. make sure you date the leftovers so you know, and then do not keep them for more than 3 to 4 days. That's the time limit. If you want to use them later, just make sure you freeze them. Once again, date them, put them in the freezer, and then you can pull them out and serve them again. But 3 to 4 days is the limit. And I repeat that just because I think sometimes people leave the leftovers in the refrigerator for a very long time.
Right. No, that's actually a very, very good point. And Maggie, I'm just going to throw this last question at you. Can you maybe explain to us why after we eat a Thanksgiving hearty meal, we seem to get a little tired, or some of the relatives fall asleep watching football? Do you have any insight into that?
I mean, personally, I love to eat, and I know at Thanksgiving, we always do bigger meals. There's always the whole tryptophan, and if it actually makes you sleepy or not sleepy. I think it's just a combination of everything going on in the day. I personally have not done a whole lot of research on it, so I cannot speak to, yes, it actually does make you tired or not. I always go back to portion size.
Right.
After I eat a big meal, I feel full and lazy and tired. So maybe doing a smaller portion size and not eating everything on your first round. You can always do a smaller plate, and that always kind of helps with your portion size also. But I am going to throw out, especially if you're at home with your family, during this time, everybody's been at home for a long time, you're kind of stuck indoors, getting out and taking a walk or doing something outside with your family, that definitely will help kind of keep you away from that. All right, I'm ready to take a nap and I'm feeling lazy and sitting on the couch. So, during the day, getting up, getting active, and then also then you can enjoy your Thanksgiving feast.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this out to these families. If you guys are still into the turkey bowl kind of thing, you guys play family turkey football, real football, out in the field, just send some videos out. We'd love to retweet those things at Missouri Healthy Schools. Why? Because Maggie just said it. It's physical activity. It's a great way to bond. Obviously, just be maxed up when you do that. And so, speaking of masks, as we wrap up this segment, Lisa and Maggie, you want to take us away with kind of like a CDC recommendation regarding on how we should wear the mask?
Yes, we wanted to take the opportunity just to put our masks on and share what a properly worn mask should look like.
So obviously it's going to cover the nose as well as the mouth. And this is especially important, Maggie. We were talking before broadcast. It's even like while cooking, right? Because you see a lot of that with the cooking part of it, and why that's kind of also important. Maybe you can comment briefly on that.
Yes. So hopefully you can hear me through my mask, but that's a big thing with working in the cafeteria, working in the kitchen. We work with a lot of students, so making sure your mask is fully covering your nose, fully covering your mouth. It just helps with, the cross-contamination, not spreading those extra germs. You want to be as safe as you can be. And, every time you have to fix your mask or you touch your mask, you need to properly wash your hands again. So there's a lot of steps that go into it. So kind of finding that right mask that fits your face well, it helps, especially, being in the kitchen and when you're working an 8-hour shift, running back and forth. So.
Absolutely. And thank you, Maggie, for sharing that. And Lisa, I want you to wrap us up. And I know we're going to direct people to our website, which is at mohealthyschools.com. And what can they find there based on what we've talked about today?
So we have information sheets on roasting the perfect turkey, and we have the CDC information pages on how to host a healthy and safe Thanksgiving. And then we will probably also be sharing a couple other recipes that we talked about today.
Well, very cool, guys. Here it is. You've been watching it all right here. on the Thanksgiving edition. And I want to thank our guest, Maggie Cimarolli, and as well as Lisa Farmer. I got to tell you guys, this is great information, and I just want to, let you, I just can't wait to see your photos when you guys post on your social media accounts on Thanksgiving at your house, because I can promise you I will. You might see that pecan pie. I'm just saying there. However, I do love that stuffing idea, and we are going to go there. So thanks, Maggie, for that. And Lisa, thanks seriously for giving us the 10 sides. With that, guys, for our guest, I am Guy Danhoff, and we want to thank you guys for watching this very special edition of our Thanksgiving meal considerations. Thank you.